And why is this God bisexual? Don't mean that he's bisexual like we see today. Mean that he has everything is composed of the universal laws, which is masculine and feminine, the law of gender. Okay, this is principle we talking about here. None of that freaky is shit. You get it? Now continuing in the Gnostic text. Okay. It tells you, okay, he created the image of the invisible one who is the Father of all, and through whom everything came into being, the first man. For he revealed his likeness in a human form. Okay? And the whole aeon of the chief archon trembled, and the foundations of the abyss shook, and of the waters which were above matter. The underside was illuminated by the appearance of his image, which had been revealed. And when all the authorities of the chief archons looked, they saw the whole region of the underside, which was illuminated, and through the light they saw the form of the image of the water. Now let's get this straight. The archons are the zodiacs, and y'all gonna find that. Okay? And he said to the authorities which attend him, come, let us create man, according to the image of God, and according to our likeness, that his image may become light for us. See his ass being tricked. He don't even know why he being tricked yet. And they created by means of their respective powers in correspondence with the characteristics which were given. So basically they're giving all their powers into this being. And each authority supplied a characteristics in the form of the image which he had seen in his natural form. He created a being according to the likeness of the first perfect man. And they said, let us call him Adam. By his name may become a power of light for us. See, because they lacked the divine spark. So they need a light. They were trying to get this light. You see? And the powers begin. The first one God has created, a bone soul. The second one, foreknowledge, created a sinew soul. Third, divinity, created a flesh soul. The fourth, lordship, created a marrow soul. Fifth, kingdom, created a blood soul. Sixth, envy, created a skin soul. See, they just creating how everything. They making everything to make immortal. Okay? But this is like a soul being. Okay? Not yet fully physical. This is a Adam Cadman, a heavenly man. All right? And remember that the great mother gave birth to one that was deficient. So the God of them all, who is not to be called a God because there was no God before him, okay, came to perfect her imperfection by making the mortal on man. Making the mortal man on earth. Or we would say the heavenly man, not the mortal man, because the mortal man was actually created by Yaltabaoth, okay, the jealous God. We're going to get to that shit soon, okay? So, I'm going to show y'all something right quick. For more information concerning how we were as a Adam Cadman, meaning a heavenly man, go into this book, Ancient Egypt, Light of the World by Jeremiah. And when you go into it, go to the Egypto-Gnostic Jesus. Go to that part, and it's going to break down the powers which we had, okay? Which we had over the Archons, over the Damians, okay? Over Yaldabaoth, okay? When you go into this book. Okay? And it's talking about Pitta Sophia. Okay? This goes into even more detail. But if I go into this motherfucker gonna be extremely long. So I'm not gonna go into that just yet. I might make a video strictly off of this so you can see exactly the power we contained when we was in our God being, when we was in our light body. Because this is only talking about the light body, okay? And the creation that the Nag Hammadi Library is talking about, what I just got done reading, meaning this, which is I'm back inside the Nag Hammadi Library, how they was forming up this solar man, okay? It's talking about a light being. So going back into the Nag Hammadi Library to finish off where I was left from, you see, it's telling you the first one. It's talking about the archons, how they created this heavenly man, but through the trickery of the Father, who of all and through whom everything came into being, the first man. Okay? So it's showing you how he tricked them into making this heavenly Adam Cadman. And here it gives name by all of these archons, demiurge, and all of these created deities that Yaltabaoth made. Okay? And it was through the power of the great mother that he had took from her. Okay? So you get all of these where it talk about everything that was created: the spine, the body, the veins, the arteries. This is the zodiacs, the archons. Because if one zodiac sign was out of whack, then your damn arm would be on where your leg at. So for every being that is of mortal or human form, everybody has a head in the same spot, everybody has an arm in the same spot, leg in the same spot, and a body in the same spot. Because the zodiacs are positioned a certain way. Okay, and if the zodiacs were not positioned the way they are, it will be chaotic. Okay? Shit, your eye might be where your mouth at. So this is why this thing was set up the way it was set up. And it was through the divine being, the divine spark, the one above them all, that it was orchestrated. Because Yaldabaoth was tricked. Okay? So you get all of this. You get all of the foot and all this. So anyway, getting to the point. Y'all get the point right there. This is the number of angels together. They are 365. They all worked on it until limb for limb, the nature and the material body was completed by them. Now there are other ones in charge over the remaining passions, whom I did not mention to you. But if you wish to know them, it is written in the book of Zoroaster. Okay? And all the angels and demons worked until they had constructed the natural body. Now let's stop right there, because I know I done spooked shit out y'all with the word demon. So let's go to the origin of the demons, okay? So you can get a full concept of what took place. So here we go back to the Hermetica. And surely, though the Atlantean or Hermes Trismegistus knows best if he was taught everything in creation by Uriel, which is the Most High God. Okay? If he was taught everything in creation by the divine spark, which is information beyond information, which is the ultimate source of creation, of any creation, other than this third dimension and low vibrational shit, which was created by Yaldabaoth, the jealous god. Okay, let's see what he has to say concerning a demon or a Damien. So when you go into the Hermetica, that blessed God, the Ego Damien said, so it said that blessed God, the Agos Damien, said, it called it a God. That's what Thoth said now. Blessed God, the Agos Damien said, soul is in body, mind is in soul, and God is in mind. The rarest part of matter then is air. The rarest part of air is soul, and the rarest part of soul is mind. And the rarest part of mind is God. And God dwells with all things and permeates all things. Mind deals with soul. Soul deals with air. This is how you do Tai Chi, by concentrating chi energy with the mind, which deals with soul. Okay. And you do it with the breath, which is air, through meditation. Okay. This is how you move chi energy. So this shit is on point. And air deals with growth matter. Okay? So you get wisdom from the Damians. And a demon is one's own personal genius. So you get the movie Aladdin. They just made the movie with Will Smith playing the damn genie. And the genie, the word genie comes from the word jinn. Jinn. Okay? Which is a genie. And a lantern is the pineal gland, because in the center of the pineal gland is 72 chakras. Okay? I don't think y'all get it. Let me bring it home for you. Then we're going back into the Gnostic tech, or the Nag Hammett Library, to get back on Yaltabaoth, his jealous ass. But first, I got to lay down this foundation so y'all spooktified minds won't be so creeped out. Because you'll understand that a Damien is a part of you. Wait a minute. Let me show you first. You see right here, wherein it says, all Damians or demons who have disassociated themselves with their own kind and have come to be united with the God kind through close connection and fellowship with some individual of the God kind are held to be God-like demons or Damians. Individuals of the Damian kind who maintain unchanged in character of their own kind are called, and those who are associated, associated with men are called daemons friendly to men. And the like is said of man. Indeed, the range of man is yet wider than that of the Damians. And the reason why is because we have the divine spark. Okay. The individuals of the humankind are diverse and of many characters. They, like the Damians, come from above and enter into fellowship with other individuals. They make for themselves many in intimate connection with almost all other kinds. Accordingly, the man who in virtue and mind in him, through which he is akin to the gods, has attached himself to them by pious devotions, becomes like to the gods. He who has attached himself to Damians becomes like to the Damians. Those who are content with the immediate station of their kind remain mere man and nothing more. So a man think it in his heart, so is he or she. That's what the shit telling you. And all other individuals of humankind, according as they have attached themselves to individuals of this kind, or that will resemble the beings to which they have attached themselves. You get it? Now to understand exactly what a Damien is. Okay, we go right here. The mind of the universe is the maker of all things, but the human mind is the maker of earthly things alone. For the mind which is in man is stripped of its vesture of fire. Okay, because it's in the soul. The mind takes this self the soul, and the soul takes this self the body. This is why it's stripped of its vestige of fire, and therefore it cannot make divine things, being merely human. Okay? By reason of its place of abode, now the human soul, not indeed every human soul, but the Poya soul, is Damianic and divine. And such a soul, when it has run the race of piety, and this means when it has come to know God and has wronged no man, becomes mind throughout. And it is ordained that after its departure from the body, when it becomes a Damien, because it becomes a vesture of fire. Okay? This is why we are akin to the Damians, because we have the same energy. Okay? Becomes a Damien, it shall receive a body of fire, so that it may work in God's service. See? So when you research the word Damien, it means one who intervened between gods and men's. It don't say who intervened between, well, you would think that it would be that God would be the one intervening between Damians and men, but no. The Damian is the one that carries out the orders of the Most High God, which is actually in you, the Kundalini. Once you awaken it, you have power over these Damians, and he carries out your will. So it is with Aladdin and the genie. He had power over the genie to command the genie to do what he wished. Okay? The genie, the jinn. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Going into the Holy Quran. Where you go? Chapter 7. The devil's opposition to man. And we indeed created you, and we fashioned you. Then we said to the angels, make submission to Adam. So they submitted, except Iblis. He was not of those who submitted. He said, what hindered thee that thou didst not submit, to whom I commanded thee? When I said, I am better than he. He said, I am better than he. Thou hast created me of fire, while thou didst created him of dust. Created me of fire. That means he's a Damien. I don't think y'all get it. Let me run it back to you one more time, so you can see what the fuck a Damien is, or a demon is. And it is a part in your pineal gland, which is 72 chakras. This is why in the Holy Quran, in chapter 72, is called the jinn. It is not chapter 72 by coincidence. Okay? At all. 72? I don't think y'all get it. Let me show you. The jinn. Going into the Goetia, the lesser keys of Solomon. Okay? We are about to be presented by the 72 demons or Damians. And it's no coincidence that chapter 72 in the Holy Quran is called the jinn, aka demons or genies. Aladdin genie and genie and the lantern. Y'all get shit? Now to make this quick, short, and sweet, we go to the table of contents. Now look here. Classified list of the 72 chief spirits of the Goetia. 72. Okay? And here we have the Damians or demons that help structure the passions and the mortal. Okay? They help the archons. Because when you read in the Hermetica by Walter Scott, another book of Enoch, but was translated by Walter Scott out of the Greek text, it tells you that the Damians came from the archons. Okay? They came from the zodiacs. All right? So they help structure the physical body of man. See? 72. See? 72. The jinn. Ain't nobody bringing in shit like me, because they ain't going in depth like me. Okay? But anyway, as we can see, the jinn, Iblis, because Iblis is one of the jinn, okay, that was created out of fire. See? And here in Hermetica, it explains, okay? See? When it becomes a Damien, it shall receive a body of fire. So this shit is all in correspondence to everything that I'm bringing forth, so that there will be nothing left out. Now, going back into the Nag Hammadi library, or the Gnostic text, which was given by the Etruscans, who are a branch of the ancient Egyptians, who gave it, okay, and passed it down to other people. And their product was completely inactive and motionless. Now remember, they had just made this man, okay, this heavenly man, Adam Cadman. And it said that he was inactive and motionless for a long time. And when the mother wanted to retrieve the power which she had given the chief archon, which is Yaltabaoth, aka the God of the Bible, the jealous God, she petitioned the mother father of all, who is most merciful. He sent by his means of the holy decree the 5 lights down upon the place of the angels of the chief archon. They advised him that they should bring forth the power of the mother. And they said to Yaltabaoth, blow into his face. See, they tricking them again. Y'all don't see it. And something of the spirit in his body will arise. And he blew into his face the spirit which is the power of his mother. He did not know this, for he exists in ignorance. And the power of the mother went out of Yaltabaoth into the natural body which they had fashioned after the image of the one who exists from the beginning. The body moved and gained strength, and it was luminous. And in that moment, the rest of the powers became jealous, because he, Adam Cadman, had come into being through all of them, and they had given that power to the man, and his intelligence was greater than that of those who had made him, and the greater than that of the chief archon. And when they recognized that he was luminous, and that he could think better than they, and that he was free from wickedness, they took him and threw him into the lowest region of all matter. Man, y'all ain't getting this shit. Y'all ain't getting it. Again, if you want to understand the way that we function in our original state, our natural given birthright, having all 12 DNA strands. Some of us even had 13, okay, from some other shit that I done read, according to what Kanat how you say his name? Wait a minute. Sanat Kumara, okay? According to some shit I read, some of us had 13 DNA strands, and we may well be in the process of activating them once we go through this ascension stage. But if you want more information on the Adam Cadman, read this book. And go right here. Okay? The Egypto-Gnostics of Jesus. Okay? And it tells you how we had power over the 12 zodiac. Okay? We had power over all of them. Okay? See? It's talking about the Gnostics. See? Whose 12 stations were figured in the zodiac and were the 12 powers in matter and psychics and physics or whatever, and the astronomical mythology. Anyway, you get it, okay? Jesus or Horus. This is when we in our Heru state, when we awaken the Kundalini, okay? See, the 12 actually represent 12 DNA strands, or the 12 strands in the pineal gland, which in the pineal gland again, we have these 72 chakra centers, which are these daemons, which we can control, this is what makes us Solomon, the solar man, or Amun-Ra, the hidden light. But we become no longer hidden once we awaken this hidden light, or inner sun, which is the Kundalini. Okay? So this is how we use the functions as far as when we were in our original state. Okay? But anyway, as y'all can see, according to the Nag Hammond Library, we were dealing with some jealous entities. Okay? And let me tell you, according to this book, the Nag Hammond Library, it tells you in the luminous epiphany was hidden in Adam, in order that the archons might not know her, and that the epiphania might be a correction of the deficiency of the mother. This means that the light, the Kundalini, was hidden in the Adam man. Okay? And the man came forth because of the shadow of light which is in him. And his thinking was superior to those who had made him. And when they looked up, they saw that his thinking was superior And they took counsel with the whole array of archons and angels. They took fire and earth and water and mixed them together. There again, we got voodoo shit mixed in there now. And the four fiery winds, and they wrought them together and caused great disturbances. And they brought him, Adam, into the shadow of death in order that they might form him again from earth and water and fire, and the spirit which originates in matter. Y'all don't hear me. They shut him down. Okay, and using common sense, they lowered the vibratory rate. Because if this was a light being, according to the Egypto-Gnostic Jesus text or Heru text in the ancient Egypt light of the world, this is what it's telling you. They lowered the vibratory rate. But what they did was what I always talk about. The stanky ass ego. They created a counterfeit spirit, which is the ego. And we're going to get there. Okay? See? Listen what it say. I'm going to read it. Some of y'all probably reading along. But, which is the ignorance of darkness and desire. It's talking about this matter, which is the ignorance of darkness and matter. In their counterfeit spirit, this is the tomb of the newly formed body with which the robbers had clothed the man, the heavenly man, the Adam Cadman, the bound of forgetfulness, and he became a mortal man. This is the first one who came down in the first separation, but the epinea of the light which is in him. This is the thought, the God particle. Okay? This epinea. She is the one who was to awaken his thinking. Okay? Wait a minute. I got to bring this home. Awaken his thinking. Now going into the serpent power, the secrets of tantric and shaktic yoga, we find out exactly what it's talking about awakening, okay, his powers. Remember, in the Nag Hammadi library, see, Epinea light which is in him, she is the one who was to awaken his thinking. So here we have, getting to the point, right? We have the Sakti coiled round Siva, making 1 point Bindu. With it is Kundalini Shakti. This word comes from the word Kundala, or a coil, a bangle. She is spoken of as coil because she is likened to a serpent. Bujaniji, I can't say that shit. Which, when resting and sleeping, lie coiled. And because the nature of her power is spiraling, manifesting itself as such in the worlds, the Shepherds or eggs of Brahma, okay, Brahmanda, in their circular or revolving orbits in other ways. But getting more to the point, this Shakti coiled round the supreme Shiva is called Mahakundala, the great coiled power, or serpentine, or Lucifer the light bringer, to distinguish it from the same power which exists in individual bodies and which is called Kundalini. It is with and through the last power that this yoga is effected. When it is accomplished, the individual Shakti, which is the nourishing energy, Kundala, is united with the great cosmic Shakti, Maha Kundalini, and she with Shiva, which is a masculine energy, with whom she is essentially one. Kundalini is an aspect of the eternal Brahman, Brahmanapa, Sanapatena, and is both attributeless with attribute Niguna and Saguna. In her Niguna aspect, she is pure consciousness, okay? And bliss itself, okay? See? She it is by whose power all creatures are displayed. Kundali Shakti in individual bodies is power at rest, or the stagnant century round which every form of existence as moving power revolves. In the universe there is always, in and behind every form of activity a static background. The one consciousness is polarized into static and kinetic aspects for the purpose of creation. And this is why, according to the Nag Hammadi Library, see, but the Epinea of the light which was in him, she is the one who was to awaken his thinking. That is Shiva and Shakti. That is the one who was before all in the great mother itself. See, now going here in the Nag Hammadi Library, he put him to sleep. See, it's talking about Genesis chapter 2, verse 21. But it was in his perception, for also he said through the prophet, I will make their hearts heavy that they may not pay attention and may not see. You see? This is the ego. Then the Epinea of the light hid herself in him, Adam. We just talked about the consciousness being expanded through awakening Kundalini. Now, continuing on, getting the key points. And said, and I said, Lord, this John, a Jacob, or Jacob, because, back then, when no such thing as no J. So, whatever you wanted to say. But it was just consciousness, basically, shit. Okay? And I said, Lord, from where did the counterfeit spirit come? Then he said to me, the mother, father, we just talked about that, the law of gender, which always was as far as before chaos. After chaos, you got order, so you had gender, positive, negative, polarity. You see, only the difference is the degree, okay, which is the intentions. Okay, but anyway, the mother, father, who is rich in mercy, the Holy Spirit,